Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will see identity as a service. So before this, we have studied platform as a service, software as a service, and infrastructure as a service. So in this lecture, we will see what is meant by identity as a service. As cloud is the thing where we can use large amount of data anywhere. So one thing comes here is everything as a service. So in which uh, identity will work as a single entity's identity, and it will again work as a service. So we'll see what it is. So employees in a company require to log in into system to perform various tasks. These systems may be based on local server or cloud based. Following are the problems that an employee might face. So remembering different username and password combinations for accessing multiple servers. Or another problem is if an employee leaves the company, it's required to ensure that each of the user's account has been disabled. This increases workload on IT staff. So the thing is, where one employee is working in any company, one has to give username and password to him so that he will be the authentic user for that company. When company or when the employee is leaving the company, so one has to give back the details of user's account to the company. So these are the things, and whatever the login credentials company is providing to the user or company is providing to the employee, company has to keep record of all these things. So the record will be stored onto the local server, or it will be stored onto the cloud. So there are some problems regarding this. So to solve above problems, a new technique emerged which is known as identity as a service. So it offers management of identity as a digital entity, and this identity can be used during electronic transactions. So what is meant by identity? Identity refers to set of attributes associated with something and make it recognizable. All objects may have same attributes, but their identity cannot be same. This unique identity is assigned through unique identification attribute. Now, I think no need to explain more about what is meant by identity, because for every student we are having some student ID with the college, they are having their PRN numbers with them, and these numbers are unique for the university. So likewise for any company, there are identities for the employees, and these identities cannot be same. So these are the unique identities, and it is assigned by the unique identification attribute. So there are several identity services that have been deployed to validate services, such as validating websites, transactions, transaction participants, clients, etc. Identity as a service may include the following: directory services, federated services, registration, authentication services, risk and event monitoring, single sign-on services, or identity and profile management. So these are some types of services which comes under identity as a services. Next is single sign-on. So to solve the problem of using different username and password combinations for different servers, companies now employ single sign-on software, which allows the user to log in only one time and manages the user's access to other system. Now the thing is, one has to log in his machine by using his username and password, and he can access any machine from anywhere in the company. This is the concept of single sign-on, because it is not every time possible to sign in or to log in for every machine where the user is or where the employee is going throughout the office. So SSO is a single authentication server managing multiple accesses to other system, as shown in the following diagram. Like, user has to log in with the credentials provided to him, like username and password, and only this single credential is used to access all types of servers present in the office. So there might be payroll server, there might be HR server, there might be training server, there might be intranet server. Number of various types of servers are there in office. But first, his credentials or first his information of login will go through authentication server, so that once he is authenticized by the authentication server, he is able to access any server from anywhere in the office. So this concept is known as single sign-on, means SSO. Now, how the SSO is working? So there are several implementations of SSO. So common type of working is, user has to give, or user has to uh, put his username and password and send it to the authentication server. Then authentication server will provide one ticket to the user. Then that ticket is sent to intranet server. Again, intranet server is providing ticket. Like, suppose user want to access intranet server, then also first he has to log into the system, and that login credentials will send to the authentication server. Server will check whether the person who is entering the data is authenticate or not. If he is authenticate, he is sending one ticket to user. By using that ticket, user can log into intranet server. Again, intranet server will send one ticket to authentication server. Then authentication will send security credentials to the intranet server. Now user is able to use the intranet server. Likewise, user can access any server from anywhere in the office, but by using the process like this. Like, first, user has to send the username and password to authentication server. Authentication server will provide the ticket to the user. Ticket will send to the intranet server. Intranet server will check the credentials with the authentication server again by sending the ticket. Then in authentication server will again confirm the information with the internet server that yes, he is authenticate person, and it is means he is able to access this facilities of the server. So this is the basic or common working of any uh, single sign on theory. Okay, so these are the steps which explains working of single sign on software. The user logs into authentication server by using the username and password. Then authentication server returns the user's ticket. User sends the ticket to intranet server. Intranet server sends the ticket to authentication server. Then authentication server sends the user's security credentials for that server back to the intranet server. So simple process is explained like whatever the diagram it is there. Likewise, the process of single sign-on theory will work. Okay. So if an employee leaves the company, then it just require to disable the user at the authentication server, which in turn disable the user's access to all the system. Because for the concern of privacy or for the concern of security, one has to take care of this, that when employee is leaving the company, company has to take all the login credentials of that person, and one has to disable that, because it might happen that after leaving the company also employee can use that login credentials if it is with him, then it will be problematic for the company. So the thing is, company has to disable the users from the authentication server. So federated identity management. So federated identity management describes the technologies and protocols that enable a user to package security credentials across security domain. It uses security markup language to package a user security credentials as shown in the following diagram. So when the employee is leaving the company, one has to take back all the login credentials from him, and for that federated identity management term is introduced. What is there in federated identity management? So there are some protocols that are used uh, for the security credentials, like there are some security markup language which will pack the user security credentials, and when one is leaving the company, he has to give the that federated identity management, whatever the services provided under this federated identity management, that services along with the credentials, one has to return back to the office or one has to return back to the company for the purpose of security. So user has to log into the authentication server. Then there is security markup language packet is there, which packet consists of users credentials and access control. Then it will be disabled from the intranet server and it will send back the user's ticket to the authentication server. And by using this process, one will disable all the security credentials or all the services provided under federated identity management to the company by the employee, so that security or privacy will be managed. Next concept is OpenID, in which it offers users to log in into multiple websites with single account, like Google, Yahoo, Flickr, MySpace, WordPress.com are some of the companies that supports OpenID. So what are the benefits of it? So increased site conversation rates, access to greater user profile content, then fewer problems with lost passwords, and ease of content integration into social networking sites. What is meant by OpenID is, so this is the concept where one can use uh, one can use a single account and can access multiple websites from it. There are some websites or companies which supports this system. They are Google, Yahoo, Flickr, MySpace, WordPress.com. So these are some companies who are supporting this concept. These are having some benefits, these are having some disadvantages also, but benefits are by using this or by using single login, one doesn't need to keep in mind different login credentials for different websites. One can use a single ID for multiple websites, so that it will increase the site conversation rates. Then it will access the user's profile content. Then there are less problems where we can say that we are losing the password or we are not remembering the password. So these things are minimized by using this. And ease of content integration into social networking site. So because of this, one can use many social networking sites, and one can easily access the things provided with the above websites. So this is the concept of OpenID. So all these things or all these concepts are togetherly known as identity as a service. So the basic concept of identity as a service is, whenever we are considering a single office or whenever we are considering a single company, one has to provide the login credentials to the users or the employees, and these are managed by using the identity as a service. Because if the company is large amount of employees are working there, so all the data are saved onto the cloud, and cloud has to manage the things also, like if new employee is entering, if one is leaving the company, So one has to keep all the records related to the identity of that employee. And along with this, security of an identity is also a concern. So by taking care of all these things, identity as service will work on cloud computing. Thank you.